The Jason Show, Role 1, Scene 4, Take 1. Director Samir, let's go. Hello, MC. Hello, MC Alistair. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm glad to have you on. It is such a honorable thing for me to have you on the show since you have so much vast experience in this industry. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hey, thank you, Jason, for having me here. The honor is mine, and I'm really looking forward to a very interesting and amazing conversation with you. I think so. I have really seen your shows, and they are fabulous. And
Thank you
I
so
hope and
much.
I trust that this is one is going to be the same.
This one is going to be a killer too. I'm sure many people already know you. I know you. For those who don't know you, can you please introduce yourself?
So my name is Alistair Dsouza. I go by MC Alistair for those who would like to go ahead and book me for your special events. So I specialize in comparing or anchoring for Sangeet Sandhyas, for receptions, for corporate events, christenings, weddings, whatever you name it. If you have a celebration, if you want to have fun, if you want to have a blast, I am the person you would want to have for your big day.
I'm sure he is the right guy for you guys. Okay, so can you talk us through how was it growing up as Alistair D'Souza, as a child, early life, college, that kind of stuff?
So, yeah, actually, MCing was never something that I had envisioned as a child because as a child, I was extremely a timid, scared, introvert child. So much so that even I couldn't recite a poem. So if I had a viva or if I had to recite a poem, I couldn't do it. I would have the knocking knees. I would have a growl in my stomach. In fact, I remember one instance very, very clearly wherein I was supposed to do the readings in the church. And for some reason, I didn't feel right. And from a catechism class, when we were heading back to the church for the mass, I was so scared. I actually jumped over a wall. So I was quite tiny that time. I actually jumped over the gate and ran home because I was so scared of going ahead and facing the audience, the church, the congregation. And that was something that I was like, no, this is not something built for me. I'm not built for the stage. I'm not built for the mic. And, that fear was always there. But after some time, when I was in the grade 10, we had one priest, the principal, Father Frank Fernandez, who really looked up to me, and he was like, Alistair, I want you to take active part. And that impetus that he gave me, or that kind of acted like a catalyst. I started, I joined the youth group after 10th, and all the parish animators, the parish priest, my fellow youth members, they encouraged me, and I used to do small, small shows. Your Christmas ball was there. The entire Christmas week was kind of one fun gala, time. So I used to host the, one or two events there, and tele games, etc. And I started gaining in confidence, and I was like, yeah, this is where I want to be. This is my place. And I think so, as they say, there's a time when an idea comes, or there's a time when a person's time comes, and nothing can stop him.
That's right.
And I think so, it's the Almighty's grace. I think so, I discovered myself, and with the mic, I feel I am in my zone.
That's
So
right.
that's how it went on. As far as education is concerned, I have done my BSc in physics with Mithibai College. And I was in Andrews. I was at St. Joseph's for my schooling, Andrews for my 12th, and Mithibai. And currently, so I did my MBA as well. And currently, I'm pursuing my PhD in management. So I'm
Oh, wow.
kind of looking forward to understand the human side of things.
Understood. So, like, even for me, the youth group has helped me so much. Like, throughout childhood, I was like on stage. I was a very talkative child and all. But then lockdown happened, and during lockdown, I couldn't even converse with people. Like, I can tell you, I couldn't even converse with my own brother. Like we wouldn't talk so much and all. And then I started college, my degree college, and there was this ma'am over there, Miss Ashwini Devadiga. She gave me the opportunity to go back on stage, which gave me like my confidence back. Ki, okay, yes, this is what I want. This is made for me, and that's where my emceeing journey began. Right now, I'm not into professional events, but over time, I feel I will get into the professional events in another 1 year per se.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to have you on board, because I'm sure people like you, I've seen your podcast, I've seen the way you speak, the kind of enthusiasm, the kind of passion that I think so is going to really make you stand apart, because a lot of people say, an MC is all that you have to do is just take a mic and announce. That
That's
is not
not it.
MC. That is absolutely not MCing. That is, yes, railway announcements. That is, yes, your school announcements. But MCing is on a different level altogether. You are actually touching people's heart. You are actually kind of, investing yourself emotionally into someone's event. So that's what emceeing is all about. Anyone who can speak, hold a mic, read out a paper can be an MC, but not everyone can be a great MC.
That's right.
So that's the kind of differentiation. And I'm sure I speak on behalf of all my fellow MCs, because a lot of people say, Arey, what is it? Yeah, you just have to come there, announce for 2 hours and then go. Why are you charging me so much? Or what is it special and all? But what makes it special is that human touch. It makes it special is the experience that people put in. I think that's what emceeing is. And you can see a spark. You have a zing in you, and I'm sure Jason is gonna be the next big thing in emceeing. So, friends, Jason has arrived to the scenes. Pack up your bags, whoever, or buckle up. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much. So, like you were saying that you emotionally invest yourself into this event because, see, as MCs, for you, this is one of 100 events. My friend Shalvita had said this that for you, this is one of many events, but for the client, it is their one of one event. So, you have to emotionally invest yourself and give them the best output for their worth, for your worth.
Absolutely. Shalvita was bang on when she said, for you, it may be one out of 1,000 events, but for the client, it's only one event. And that's the most memorable day. They've invested so much of money, they've invested so much of time, and they look forward to it. Especially a marriage, wherein you have a confluence of so many different cultures, so many different family members, so many different people, and the couples. So I truly believe that a marriage is basically a black hole wherein you have your entire time span from the time where you realize what love was till the last breath you take. The entire journey of your love being compressed into that single 2 hours. That's what marriage is, And a MC can actually make or break your event. That's what I truly believe, the kind of flair that an MC gets to the marriage, the kind of enthusiasm, the kind of involvement, and the kind of things that the MC does. It's not the bigger things in life, the smaller things in life. And each
Correct.
marriage is unique. It's not a templatized thing. So, as an MC, there are quite a few MCs who give you a templatized set of things, Ki Jason, take this. This is what has been done from eons, from donkey's age. This is what the tradition follows. So, do this. This is what you have to do.
Like a script thing.
Yes, a very scripted thing. These are the steps you follow. Steps are fine, but adding that texture, adding the color,
Your own personal touch.
your own personal touch, and getting the buy-ins from the groom and the bride. That's most important because it's their big day. They have to add their color. So
right.
that is very important. How you kind of encompass everything and more, so that they can see the videos back, or they can see the footage back and see, wow, we lived a big day. That's what it is.
That's right.
So it's very, very important. And my personal mantra for any event, my approach is with the confidence that I have done a bazillion events. I approach my event with that confidence. But my preparation is that I am doing my first event. So I'll prepare for it to the minutest detail.
Yeah.
And that's when you kind of get that perfect blend of confidence as well as persistence of or your determination of how exactly you build the two together.
That's
You can't be overconfident and you can't be underprepared. You have to have the right balance of confidence and preparedness to have anything that goes wrong. You can adjust that, and a marriage or a function is something that things will go wrong. Things are bound to go wrong.
That's right.
How do you keep your cool? How do you keep the people's cool around is what's important.
That's right. You were talking about being prepared. Like, I know preparation plays a very big part, because even before an event, I prepare. Say it's even if it's a small event, I take a week to prepare. Maybe I'll not work the full day on it. Maybe I'll work an hour, but I'll start the preparation for before. Now, let's say someone has to prepare for a wedding. What is your routine to prepare for that wedding,
So
before the wedding?
So before the wedding, I firstly, and this preparation starts quite well in advance. 1 week is, during 1 week, you'll not have anything. At least your personal preparation, you can do it. But the most important thing here you have to understand is the nature of the couple involved. What is their nature? What is it that triggers them? What is it that triggers their love? And accordingly, then you build on that. How is it that you're going to add in things or moments that may make it different? What you have to do is you have to ensure that you give them more than they're expecting. Do you make them feel, you make them realize an experience which they have never even dreamt about. You have to make it an absolute fairy tale for them. So that's
That's
what
right.
it is. And that's where the entire preparation goes in. Or what are the things that they like, and what are the things that I can incorporate that will make them or make their experience even better. So I believe in triggers of love. So let's say, for example, as a couple, you can choose two songs. Your first song is your entry song. The second song is your love song.
Correct.
But you have 3, 4 other songs that trigger your love. So whenever you are together, you want to listen to a song that is really special to your heart. How do we play that in the in your wedding? How do we kind of incorporate that? If you like to do something as a couple, whether you like to go on long walks on the beaches, or you like to go ahead and just cozy in with each other and watch or binge on Netflix. So how do you kind of get that on that day where people will realize these are the guys, they love to do this. And when you actually listen about what you love from someone else, it's a different feeling altogether. It's like your name. If I call you by your name, you automatically feel a sense of pride, we feel a sense of belongingness, you feel a sense of happiness. That's what we're gonna get it. So our my main preparing for any event, I have never written a script. I am always impromptu. Touch wood. I think so. That's something that I can boast about. I'm always impromptu. I always speak as the words come in or as the situation demands. But yes, what you can do is pointers about their life, pointers about their culture, pointers about things they love, and how do you incorporate it with your speech or while you're kind of conducting everything. So that's most important.
You spoke about incorporating them into this thing. I've never thought about it that way. Like, to incorporate their, say, soft spots, emotional spots into the wedding, so that it makes them happier on that day. It is something new to me, which has actually blown my mind. So thank you for that.
You're most welcome.
Yeah. Oh, so you were talking about you're doing your PhD in management, and you have a job, right?
Correct.
And you're doing MCing as a side gig on the weekend. So how do you manage all of that together?
So I truly think I'm blessed. There's a lot of efforts that we have to put in. So efforts is important, dedication is important, but you also have to have a nice support system. So you have a nice family who can support you, because when you're going for MCing, you need all your stuff ready.
That's right.
Especially when you're working, you need your stuff ready. And my family has been one source of inspiration and support. They've always supported me in whatever I want to do. Also, your colleagues, your office colleagues, your boss, especially my boss, Shesh Narayan Baldua, he's been a blessing. So he's always supported me, and he said, as long as you're doing your work, as long as you're not sidelining your work, I'm okay. I want to support you. Do what you feel like because that's your passion. And Jason, honestly speaking, I have had moments, especially during the Christmas week. So from the 15th of December to the 15th of January, it's like a packed week. So, you don't even have the off days. Normally, you would have a Saturday, Sunday function or a Friday at the max. But from the 15th to the 15th, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And after sometimes you turn into a zombie. You don't know what's happening. So I have experienced that. I've come to, I go to my work at 8, 8:30, do my work at 5 o'clock. I'm done with my work. I pick up my bags, go to a venue, ensure everything is proper, the caterers, the photographers, the special effects guy, the venue guys, everything is in place, ensure every detail is covered, and then get everything, be on your toes the entire function, have your dinner and come back home by around 12, 12:30. So it takes a toll on you. And you can do it for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but after the fourth day you don't know what's happening. You're like a zombie. So you'll go through the motions, you'll go through the rigors as if you're just going through it because your body is on autopilot. But the moment you reach the venue, the moment you see that couple smiling, the moment you see the family members all eager to celebrate,
Yeah.
your passion automatically takes over. That's where we say, there's no logic in love, there's only magic. And the magic of the love that you receive, that kind of transcends and takes you to a different plateau or a different level, wherein you can then be yourself and do all the things you want to do in spite of you being physically tired. So you'll be physically tired, but that strength, that emotional upliftment that you need, it comes from the love that people give you. So I think so the passion will drive you no matter how tired you are. Passion will drive you. So I think so that's one very important thing that we have to take
Yeah.
care of.
Even this quote is there, like, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
So it never, whenever I'm hosting, it doesn't feel like, okay, this is a job for me. I'm like, this is what I love. I love to do this thing. I'm having fun doing it. So why not do it as like a career thing? So this is like, for now, it's my short career path after this year, like academic year ends.
That's really nice, Jason.
That's right. So as I did a lot of events in the college and church, that was like a defining moment for me that I want to go all into this career from next year onwards. What was your like defining moment that, okay, this is what I want to do?
The defining moment when I thought that this is what I want to do is when I did my first wedding. So it was very hard to convince people that yeah, I have arrived to the scene and I can do a marriage. I can host a marriage. Very hard. And Jason, I'll tell you this truth that you will face throughout your life. As Jesus says, in the Bible, it's given that Jesus was rejected in his own village. So the people who are closest to you will never give you an opportunity. The people who know you well will never give you an opportunity. Why? Because they have a bias that, this guy is not worth it. And unfortunately or fortunately, you will always look up to your own people to support you.
That's right.
It's like a paradoxical situation. And I went through a phase wherein people would like, ki, auntie, uncle, can you give me an opportunity? I don't mind doing it for free. I was so desperate. Give me an opportunity. Give me an opportunity. They're like, no, we've booked someone. We don't want someone. What are you? Ye, waisa, waisa. And they would speak bad about you. Maybe not in front of you, but they would always kind of dilly dally and they would give someone else. And when you went to that function, you would feel really sad. Or if you don't go to that function, you'll feel very sad. Now, the fun is there was one known person, and that person really believed in me. And they said, you know what, Alistair, we want you to do our wedding. It's okay. If you mess up, also, it's fine. Don't worry. We are there with you. And that opportunity, when I took that opportunity, I grabbed it with both my hands because I had waited so long for it. When I seen the smile on the couple's face, the couple took the mic. That time we had the wired mic. They took the mic and they told, okay, Alistair, we're so happy we chose you and no one else. That was like, the floodgates of my eyes were opened up. I was crying and I couldn't really control my emotions. It was like, I had to cry. And that's when I realized that, what, I have the biggest gift of touching people's hearts, making them happy, getting smiles on their faces. And I think so that is where that entire thing turned around. And I think so when I look back and join the dots, I think so. What's been my biggest achievement as a compare is that I haven't ever cracked a below the belt joke or a joke on someone else, but I've made people laugh, which is very deep if you think about it. Whenever you crack a joke, the joke is always on someone. And whenever I crack a joke, it's on none of the other people. It's just a fun atmosphere that I want to build. I think so. One of the biggest achievements I feel was after that turning moment wherein I did that marriage without cracking a single below the belt joke, single joke that I had recited earlier, and going ahead and continuing with that same legacy of not cracking a single below the belt joke, but yet making people laugh, yet making people fall in love with you. I think so. That's kind of the defining moment and the defining moment now as well.
You were talking about below the belt jokes. Like I'll be very honest, I make a lot of jokes. I make fun of people, but then I expect them to make fun of me back. So that is how it works. But like, see these non-adult jokes that you make. How do you like make them on the spur of the moment, or do you like write them down?
It's on the spur of the moment, and mostly my jokes are not exactly jokes as such. It's just maybe a mimicry of what I do. So a very simple thing would be like, if I have to ask everyone the frame to smile, what I would do is I would say, "Sir, smile, welcome to Bangkok, Swatika." And the joke is on no one,
Yeah,
but everyone smiles up, or if there's a first communicant, and if he's not participating and he doesn't want to come on stage or to enjoy himself, I would be like, "Oh, sweet child of Jesus, why you sit? Come, let's go and play." That's the kind of things that especially accents or imitating someone in a fun way. That's what I truly believe makes people smile and laugh.
that's great. Yeah. And like sometimes the audiences are very difficult to break the ice with. Like now you said you can make them laugh, but initially, how do you like break the ice with them? What are like your favorite activities that you do?
So to break the ice with the audience, I normally have an energize activity. The best activity is to make them compliment each other. So if I'm in a room filled with 50 to 60 people, I'll ask them, just look at your partner and tell your partner how beautiful they're looking, and at the same time tell them how smart and handsome you're looking. Or just go ahead, hug your partners, do something that will make them laugh, make them smile, tell them something that will really make them feel good about themselves. Automatically people break all the shackles, because all that people want in today's world is love, is happiness and recognition. We've kind of we technology is supposedly a boon, but it's also come with a bane. It has made us lonely beyond measures. We are with our phones, we are connected with everyone, we have so many friends on Facebook. There's no one to just come there and hug you. I mean, how many times have you gone ahead and hugged a person and
That's
said, "I love you"? But once we go ahead and hug a person, it's automatically two energies, because we're not human beings, we are not flesh and bones, we're packets of energies,
that's right.
packets of energies filled with emotions. And the only way to expand this energy is by going ahead and giving it out to whoever you feel closest to. So a very simple thing is, even if you hug your parents every day, where you get up in the morning and say, "Thank you for being such a lovely person in my life." Just imagine the state of the hedonic state of that person. You'll be like, "Oh, wow." First, you'll be like, "Is he gone crazy? I mean, what's happening?"
That's right.
But the moment you go ahead and tell someone you love them, or you really appreciate what they've done, or you tell them how special you are, automatically there's a spike in that energy.
That's right.
That's the kind of thing that I always want to kind of propagate to people. Actually go ahead and tell people how good you are. Automatically the energy levels are high. Then obviously clapping activities or fun activities which they can do while they are standing. A good fun activity will be, "We Will Rock You." I play that music and I'm like, "We will rock you,"
Tap
and
tap
people,
tap.
yeah, people screaming out and tapping and clapping. uh, People doing crazy stuff. People want to be crazy, people love to be crazy, and fun crazy is the best crazy. So I think so that really breaks the ice, and people kind of look at you and they're like, "Yes, we're going to have a fun time with
We're
it." So
gonna.
that's how you break the ice.
That's great. You were talking, you just spoke about breaking the ice. I've seen a lot of your Instagram reels of where you're dancing, you're playing around and all. Do you think dancing plays a important role as well in breaking the ice?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, dancing, you could say, is your soul's way of expressing itself. So, your mind can speak, but your soul can dance. So, when you dance, your soul dances. And I think so that's dancing, no matter how bad it is, it'll always look good. So, I always tell my couples, especially the couples who don't dance well, I tell them, don't bother, don't even think about the steps, don't count your steps, just go there and enjoy yourself. The moment you enjoy yourself,
Yeah.
automatically any dance form that you do will feel so amazing. So I think so dancing really is your soul giving out happy vibes or happy energy.
That's right. Because see, even like I hosted an event recently called Leadership Day at DYC. So I was so scared to go on stage. The event was like delayed 5 minutes because I couldn't go on stage. So I just went on stage, said hi, hello, this, that, and I told everyone to stand up, and I started with a dance. And after that, I felt like, okay, this is my zone.
Yeah.
I lost all the pressure that was there on me, even though there was no external pressure. It was all internal pressure only. But after dancing, it like relieved my soul, sort of thing.
Yeah, dance. I mean, I would always say dance, even if it has to be in your own bedroom, dance. But dance. Dancing is a beautiful way of releasing all the energies, of ensuring that all the happiness comes to you. It's a way of communicating to the universe.
Nice.
So if you see the entire cosmos, the entire universe is a basic dance in play. It's a beautiful dance in play. So we've always been taught that there is one sun, and the earth rotates around it, and that's how it's going to be. That's stationary. But in actuality, in reality, the earth, the sun, they're all dancing and moving forward. So all the planetary systems, all the Milky Ways, they're constantly dancing and moving in a whirlwind fashion. We've been taught that it's just going like this. No, it's not going like this. It's moving around. So dance is the beautiful form. And I think so the Nataraja statue of Shiva, the cosmic dance, that is where I seek my inspiration from. So I used to, like you Jason, I would really fear myself. If I danced, I would fear what would people say. They would look at me and say that, oh, this guy, I don't have a dancing body, so people would always look at me and make fun of me. But then when you leave it behind, saying that, at least you're giving an opportunity for people to laugh or smile and dance your way through. So that's how you should go ahead. Dance, no matter what happens, just dance and enjoy yourself.
Even I'm not a very good dancer. I just danced that day at the moment. We had learned this action song during our summer camp, and then I just went and used it. It was not even planned. It was totally impromptu.
Yeah.
Because I was like, "Chalo, let's do it." Getting the chance to do it, do it.
And believe me, Jason, if it's impromptu, it's
It's
even
fun.
more fun.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So, other than this, what do you think is like the most challenging part about hosting rather than breaking the ice?
I think so. The most challenging part about hosting, I wouldn't encapsulate in one event. I think so. I would, it can, maybe I'll encapsulate in one event and overall as well. So the most challenging part about hosting is understanding people's natures, understanding people's culture, understanding their backgrounds, and what is it that you don't do to trigger them. I normally host a lot of intercaste marriages. So you have a Catholic and a Hindu or a Muslim, so how do you kind of, get everyone on board?
That's right.
How do you kind of, get everyone together as one family? And at the same time not hurt anyone's sentiments, because it's very easy to hurt people's sentiments. You have to be wary of that. So the biggest challenge I feel is to ensure that everyone is equally involved. And I think so I'm blessed with this multilingual skill where I can kind of at least give out a few words in the native language, like a Konkani or a Malayalam or a Tamil or yeah, or Gujarati or Marathi or Hindi for that matter. And that really kind of bonds you. So that's the biggest challenge, is to get everyone on board, make sure that everyone is happy and everyone leaves with a smile. Because for a celebration, you don't want anyone leaving with a frown. You always want people having a smile. So that is one big challenge. Also, there's always a big challenge, Jason. This is for you and budding compares like you. For every function, for every wedding, especially, there will always be one Charlie who will try to act smart. He
Right.
will come and he'll tell you how bad you are, or how you don't know your job, or how you don't know what to do, or he will want that place of importance. The biggest challenge is how to ignore him and remove him out of the equation.
Okay.
So that's the biggest challenge, because it's very easy for you to lose your mind. you know you're come with a frame of mind to ensure that everyone's happy. And believe me, no matter how confident you are, how sure you are of what you are, even one person telling you something negative about yourself will play on your mind. The biggest challenge is to ignore that guy. And I was at the start of my career, I used to feel very bad, and automatically, I used to go down. In fact, for a recent event itself, uh, the family members of the bride weren't there, and because of that, half of the people who were from Pune, there was the Maharashtrian crowd, they were not responding. And I was like, let it be, or I'm done with it. It's okay, I have done my basic job, I'm doing my job well, but I'm not doing what I wanted. And I sat down. The march was just about to begin. I sat down and announced that, okay, let's get on the march and all. And there was one person who I've never met. And that person came and said, Alistair. So I said, yeah, you're not Alistair. I'm like, and this gentleman is quite a nice gentleman, Cyril Dara. I've never met him. And he's like, Alistair, you're not Alistair. So I said, what do you mean? He's saying, you're not the Alistair I know. So I'm like, why, sir? He's like, you know what? I know the guy who will get everyone on the dance floor, ensure everyone's happy, everyone's screaming, everyone's enjoying themselves. I can't see that spark today in you. And I'm like, so, but the crowd, there's no response from the crowd. I've tried my level best. And he's like, Alistair, you can do more than this. And that word was enough for me to kind of go and ensure that everyone, and then the same gentleman, in addition to the rest of the family members and friends coming in and saying, Alistair, this is what I'm calling Alistair. This is the Alistair I know. And that's something that you really look up to. Even one word of encouragement really takes you up. So that's the biggest challenge. How do you kind of keep yourself high in spite of what's happening around the surroundings? How do you keep yourself high in spite of people being negative? And it'll not be people, it'll be one or two person at the max, because they just want to have that moment of glory. They want to show that they are smarter than you.
Got it.
So that's very important. A bigger challenge is ex compares who have been in their yesteryears, who have been really good in their yesteryears, coming and saying, you know what, you don't do this well, you've not done this well, you don't know how to do it. That also puts you down, because you look up to them, they are like role models, and when they bring you down, a lot of people encourage you, but sometimes if they bring you down, just ignore them. Evaluate yourself, that's the most important. And I think so, Jason, the biggest challenge for all compares today is people like you.
Right.
People like you, the new guys. You guys are coming in with a energy that is unsurpassed, unmatched. Your vocabulary, the kind of confidence you have, the kind of dance moves you can get. I think so. For all the compares, there's only one thing. If you can't go ahead and cannibalize yourself and make yourself or
Reinvent yourself.
reinvent yourself, the new guys are going to eat you up. And I mean it as a compliment, because I've seen a lot of people. So when I started my career, the only thing that was told to me is, Alistair, have a baritone voice. And I would have something like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's an honor to be here. Where our two souls meet, there are two hearts that become one. That was the kind of introduction I would go. We would have that, Spanish march, Viva Español, and have a fun march, which was always formal, everyone just going like this and moving around. Cut to today. I'm like, hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're all here to celebrate. And that kind of has changed, that has evolved. I mean, think about it. Someone saying that, you can't be like this, so brash, you can't be so informal. But the demand is this. You are changing. And you either cannibalize yourself, you change, or the new breed who have come in,
They're going to eat you up.
they are going to take you up. I mean, and they're really good, like a Newman. The Newman is all over the place, and he's thought people, this is not comparing. Standing in one place is not comparing. Comparing is going there, mixing around with the crowd, jumping on tables. I'm sure I can't jump on tables. A table will come down, but jumping on tables, ensuring everyone is crazy, everyone is mad, everyone is fun. That's the new challenge that we have. So as compares who've had experience, it's great. I respect everything, but I think so. We have to reinvent the wheel. That's right. Otherwise, the new guys who are there on the market will really eat us up. And I'm happy for them because I truly believe there's no competition. There is no competition. There's only camaraderie. There's enough and more work in the industry for every one of us. Correct. And I think so we can only learn from each other. We can only go ahead and grow with each other's support. So I think so the word competition, at least in today's day and age, has to be an obsolete word. You just have to kind of complement each other. I feel each and every compare complementing each other, we'll move forward. That's the only way forward. You can't compete. And each compare is different. It's like a compare or any compare is like a Salman Khan or a Shah Rukh Khan or a Amir Khan or Akshay Kumar. Not everyone loves a Shah Rukh Khan. Not everyone loves a Amir Khan. Not everyone loves a Salman Khan, or not everyone loves Akshay Kumar, but they're all loved and they all have their own spots in stardom. Likewise, each compare can be his own Shah Rukh or his own Salman or his own Akshay. You just have to complement each other and move forward. The moment you start competing, Are, what can he do? He's not, something, or he can't do something. So that's where the buck stops. So even uh, when there are couples who ask me, if I'm booked, if they ask me how is this compare, I'll be like, I don't know. I don't know. You have to check how the compare's work is. You have to converse with him. And when we converse with someone, you automatically realize what kind of person is this, the kind of person I want. That's it. Is this the person I want to go ahead and have at my wedding? And you'll automatically get your answer. I can go ahead and give you a reference, but I can't recommend someone. I'll never recommend someone. Even a photographer. There are so many different kind of photographers. There's a photographer who loves to do the traditional white, beautiful, rosy pictures. There's a photographer who loves to work with silhouettes. There's a photographer who loves to work with shadows. There's a photographer who loves to work with depth of field. There's a photographer who loves to work with angles. Now, as a couple, you have to realize which photographer you want to work with, because as a couple your choice will be different. I can recommend you someone, but your choice is different. Hence I always tell them, look at their profile, look at the videos, look at what they have to offer you. That's right. And only once you're convinced, that's when you move forward, because your special day needs your taste, your flavor. If you love shadows, if you love art, I can't give you a traditional photographer, I can't recommend a traditional photographer who will stand there and click your pictures. You need to move forward. You need to go ahead and think for yourself. I always put the ball in their court. And as far as compares are concerned, I think so. We just have this in mind. Don't compete, just complement and move forward. And I think so that's the best thing you can do, because we're all in one fraternity. You were saying that this is not a competition and it's camaraderie. It makes a lot of sense because there's only Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there are so many events that are happening on these days, and one compare can't be at both these events at the same time. So it makes sense that okay, if I'm not there, I can just pass it on to someone, or she's not there, she can pass it on to me. It can work that way. What do you think about that? Yeah, passing on absolutely. Events. Absolutely, passing on events. So I have passed on events for a lot of people, to a lot of people. And likewise, I have gained it as well. So it's not just a one way street. I have got it, I have passed it on to other people, and it really works fantastic, because it's all in the group. My only suggestion to all the compares is don't recommend someone special. No. Because you don't know, Alistair may be a good compare. Jason has recommended it to Alistair to his best friend. Think about it. I have a bad day. I will ensure that I don't do this to people. But if suppose I'm having a bad day, or if on that day something goes wrong, I don't want people coming up to Jason and saying, Jason, you recommended this guy and see what he's done. So I'll always send references. I'll give for any couple who asks me for compares, who asks me for anyone else, I'll give them 3 to 4 recommendations. look at their work, speak to them, understand what it is, and go. And the best thing is, or the worst thing is, the couple will ask, how much will they charge? And I'm like, boss, that's not for me to decide. You want to speak to them, see their worth, see their work, and then go ahead and ask them, and then judge whether they are worth what they're asking for.
That's all.
So if you feel that there's someone who's worth the money, please pay him that. Don't bargain with him. If you feel someone's not worth the money, you're
Yeah.
free to bargain. That's your choice. And a lot of times, and as you said, a lot of our weddings which are there, we are seasonal. So we have the December month, especially last week, the last Saturday Sunday after Christmas, the first week of Saturday Sunday after New Year. These are the things that you'll get 4, 5, 6 overbookings. How do you do that? You go ahead and pass it on. That's all you do.
Correct. So even like Shalvita was telling me about this, that you should know your own worth. If say you're charging 10,000 for a show and the people are like, it's too much, but you know yourself that you are worth 10,000, don't bargain and just pass it on to the next person. And like, just know that you are worth this much and you won't go below this price. sort of.
Absolutely, Jason. And the most important thing, Jason, is that if I drop my price for someone,
Hmm.
I will be doing disservice, or I'll be cheating on the clients who've paid me more.
Correct.
So if there's client A who's paid me an X amount, and if there's client B who's ready to pay me, but he's not ready to pay me X, he's paying me X minus Y. And if I accept it, I will be really doing disservice, or I'll be, in short, I'll be disrespecting the person who's known my worth.
That's all.
So I prefer not to have a show rather than bulging it down. There are always exceptions to it. There are always things that will, or times where it'll come, and you'll have people saying that, "Okay, I can't afford it," and you'll just have to take a judgment call and understand it. So I'll give you a very simple example of how things really work on. So there was a known person to whose house there was. So I had done a wedding of a person in Khar,
Hmm.
and they really loved my comparing. Everyone loved my comparing, and they had a maid whose daughter was getting married in the same year. And she asked me, because I could speak Marathi. So I was conversing with her in Marathi. So though this was a polished crowd, I was conversing with her in Marathi. And she was a Koli from Khardanda. And she asked me, "Sir, तुम्ही करणार का? माझी मुलगी आहे, तिचं लगीन करायचं आहे आणि तिचं असंच करायचं आहे. तुम्ही करणार का?" And I said, "No problem." And she was like, ki, how do we go about it? And I explained everything. And she asked me for my fees. And I said, "ताई, तुम्हाला काय वाटतं? तुम्ही किती देऊ शकता मला?" He's like, "मी एवढं एवढं देऊ शकते तुला." And it was well below my expectations. But I said, "You know what? You give me, but I want your blessings as well. You give me 1 rupee extra for whatever you're giving me. And in that 1 rupee, I want your blessings." And she put it in an envelope. She gave it to me. She was in tears, but she gave me after the function. And this lady also served at another place, which was a Hindu family. And they seen me there for her wedding because they had just come to wish. And then they asked her for my reference, and they called me up because they had a function happening at their place. They had their son's wedding. And they are like, "क्या आप हिंदी में बात कर सकते हो?" I'm like, "हाँ जी, बात कर सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं." And they hired me. And believe me or not, that was the biggest amount they paid because they were so happy. So I had quoted them X amount, which was higher than what I normally would quote. And they were so happy, they gave me an extra tip.
Okay.
And that's how you kind of come to know how God works in very strange ways.
That's
So I had not charged someone because I thought they were not really worth it, but I got tenfolds of what I had not charged them. So that's how it is.
that's it.
But I think so. The only thing that you need to know is know your self worth. Don't compromise. If your heart says, do it. If your brain says, don't.
Don't do it. Okay. So like initially when you started out, how much were you earning that time? And now don't tell me how much you earn. That I'll keep it private. But like someone with say 50 shows worth of experience, how much can they earn?
So it totally depends. As Shalvita said, it's your skills. It's a price tag that you put for yourself. Uh, but you have to understand what it is and you have to be reasonable. But I think so, I wouldn't want to give you a range, but a good range would be for a marriage function. I think so anywhere between 10 to 20 would be a good way to start for, because you need to understand, you want to go ahead and build a base, you want to be recognized. Once you be recognized, once you build a brand of yourself, then obviously you can quote a figure and people will pay you for that. So you have compares who will charge you 5,000. You have compares who will not compromise on even 50,000. The same way you have DJs who will play for free as long as you pay them for food and maybe a 500 rupees. And there are DJs who command the price of 1 lakh. So in each and every field, whichever field you go, you will always have even a doctor who will charge you only 100 rupees, and you will have a doctor who will charge you only 10,000 rupees for a consultation. So you have to know where you go ahead and stand. And the right way of going ahead and assessing that is to know what your brand value is. So the moment you, as a compare, know your brand value, you can then command your pricing. So the brand is very important. It's not the experience, it's the brand you build. So like a Shalvita or like you, Jason, if you build up a brand tomorrow, even with 25 shows below your belt, you can command a price because you are a brand. And that's what will separate you from the rest of it. You can't go ahead and compare, as I said, you can't compare yourself with anyone else. You compare yourself with your brand. You compare yourself of how much people are aware with you. And obviously there'll always be a dynamic, there'll always be a dynamic pricing. So a December month, you don't compromise on your rate. A June, July, where you're not going to get any shows, you can compromise. So it totally depends upon you. So brand and timing is very important in placing your pricing. So if you are a brand, you can command your pricing. If you know it's not going to be a good season, or it's going to be an off season, you can surely change your pricing dynamic.
Yeah, so even like when I was talking to Kadakman, I asked him that now he has built such a following on Instagram. He has like 50,000 followers, that now he can charge a higher price because of his brand. Do you think that now you have like 700, 800 posts on your Instagram, that you have documented so much of your work, you can charge a higher price now?
I think so. More than Instagram, it's the connect that I have. It's the real world connect. So I truly feel Instagram or any other medium for that matter, or the kind of followers you have, is just a fictional or a notional value. Because in today's day and age, sincerity and authenticity is missing from Instagram. What you see on Instagram is profilicity, meaning the kind of glamour that's surrounding you. I may be wearing a good glamorous clothes, I may be very glamorous, I may be doing a lot of talking on Instagram, but when it comes to the real world, can I deliver what I promise? That's what you have to go ahead and see. And especially in comparing, it's not about what you can do on Instagram, it's about what you can do in life, what people observe you, how many people will go ahead and talk about it. So that is very important. Instagram following is great. Instagram posts are great because it communicates what you can deliver. What's really important is on ground, how do you deliver? That is very important. So I may have a good fan following on Instagram, but if I can't deliver what I promise, I'm useless. But I may not have good following on Instagram, but yes, I can deliver what I can promise. I know a lot of compares who don't have Instagram posts, who don't post on Instagram, but their name, the kind of work what people have witnessed, that commands the price. That's right. So that's the thing. So you have to kind of, there's a duality to everything. So I think so that's a duality. You have to kind of get to your senses and say, okay, you know what, I can deliver this, and hence I'll charge you so much. So what do you think are the plans for your future now? Yeah. So for every compare, I just have one thing to say. You will have a time and you will have an expiry date. Shelf life. Shelf life. My only thing for future is I want to be as young, as energetic, and grow old. So no matter how old I grow, I want to be as young as energetic, and I want to do what I'm doing. I want to spread smiles as long as possible. So my only plan for the future is to ensure that I'm physically fit and mentally fit. I keep myself updated. I keep renewing myself and ensure that, throughout as much as I can, just move on in such a way that I can go ahead and deliver. And I have to humbly accept the end of times, because I will have a shelf life. I will have a day when people will no longer want me. People whom I trust, people whom I look forward to will no longer want me, because there'll be someone else who will be better than me. And the true metal, or the true test of my metal or my strength, will be to realize that yes, I have reached my end times, and go ahead with it.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Mr.
Thank you so
Alistair.
much.
It was great to have you on. You blew my mind 2, 3 times during the episode. Thank you so much for that. And I'm sure we'll do an episode again in the future sometime. And I look forward to asking you my doubts and all regarding MCing and all also as
No
well.
problem, ma'am. I'll be more than happy to. And I think so. What you should, or what budding MCs should always remember, is you can never be bigger than the game. So MCing is a game. MCing is an art. You can never be bigger than the art. It's like Sachin Tendulkar is the prime example of how you can never be bigger than the game. So, in spite of Sachin Tendulkar having 99 centuries, when he became out, he could easily have said, I know it, I've done it all. But the moment he gets out, he'll go in the nets and practice. As an MC, also you have to do the same thing. You can't be uh, too robust. You can't be too overconfident. You can't throw your attitude towards people. No matter how good you are as an MC, you have to be humble. You have to go ahead and accept things as they are. The moment you try to throw your weight around, the moment you try to act for or ask for more perks, or act as if there's no one better than you, that's the end of you. You have to be humble. You have to go ahead and show gratitude, especially, Jason, people who've helped you. So even today, I know people who've helped me in my bad times, or who've helped me grow, and I remember them. I will go back to them and thank them. Even today, if there's a person giving me a recognition back, or he's giving me a show, I will go and thank them, because that's how you have to be. You can't be arrogant, you can't be robust, you can't be all knowing. Thank you, Mr. Alistair, for coming on the show. It was an honor to have you on here. Thank you, Jason, for having me. It was a pleasure and an honor, yeah. Thank you. It was really nice, and I'm hoping to see you rock next year. I will. As a MC. Thank you so much.